GingerGM.
Pyro Luke, isn't it? Okay, so we got you there. Let's play 15 plus 10 rated. I'm challenging you now, Pyro. So let's get it on. 15 plus 10. It's quite a long time control. PP, I'll play you next time, mate. I'm sorry. PP. Because I know that Pyro is 2100 elo. So, just for people at home, I think sometimes they want to see someone with a higher rating for now, because this normally goes on for about 45 minutes, this game. So I'm sorry, PPRTS, all is well, thank you. You let me off. I feel guilty, but next time I'll play you. Okay, so the idea of these longer time limit games is that I explain my thought processes as a grandmaster in the way that you guys at home can pick up some tips and that you can think in the right way. So I always play d4. Now I play a lot of moves here. I play bishop f4, the London system. I play bishop g5, which is a bit like a Trompovsky, but the main move and the move I played most regularly is this one. And this is I did a DVD on this, the killer d4. Now Pyro has played c6, and after c6, again I played two lines here. I actually played the exchange Slav here, which is a much more positional and slow grinding game. But when you're a grandmaster, you have to be able to play lots of different types of positions. So I wouldn't say that I'm just a tactical player. I do play positional chess now and again, but I expect you guys want to see more tactical chess. So I'm going to play my knight to c3, which is the main move, increasing pressure on d5. Pyro was getting very worried there. By the way, Pyro, you meant to turn off the commentary so you can't hear me, because I'm going to be suggesting long lines and you'll get a head start if you're listening to the commentary. So turn off the commentary now. You can mute me. Please don't cheat, because we want to get a proper game. And now this is the main line Slav. Bring both of the knights out. And here black has a couple of options. This one is one of the main moves here. Now there's a couple of ways that white can play. One way that white can play, and the main line here, is to stop b5, because black often wants to play b5 to reinforce the pawn on c4. So one move here is a4, trying to control that square, and then I try to win this pawn back. But that's a bit slower. I'm going to play e4 here, which is the Marshall Gambit, because it allows black to gain control and basically be a pawn up. So what do I have in compensation for this? Well, I have a strong centre, and I believe in the centre. I think the centre is a great thing to have when you're trying to start an attack. And I'm going to use this centre straight away by attacking his knight on f6, making that knight move. And this pawn here can be a very good pawn to use to attack with. If you ever get this pawn formation, you get it in the French defence advance as white. It's quite a good pawn formation because it gives you always attacking chances. Now knight here is the main move, knight in the centre of the board. And now there's a couple of ways to play this, but I'm going to stick with the main line as I do in the killer d4. And the main move here is you want to try to annoy these pawns, because these pawns are quite solid, but I want to try to chip away at them. So I've got a little hammer. I'm just trying to chip away at them. So a4 in this position is attempting to cause some problems to that pawn. e6 is the main move. Now if I try to win the pawn on b5, this is all theory by the way, Pyro will take on c3 first, and then he will take back on b5. So the line which I like playing here is knight to g5. Now the reason for this is that it's a very aggressive way to try to attack here. Now Pyro's attacked that knight. He obviously knows the theory here. And now the move I play, of course I play this move. Would you expect anything else? I move my pawn to h4 to try to guard the knight on g5. And this, basically what I want to do here, if it's my move, is throw my queen into h5 or throw my queen into f3. Because now the knight is out the way, my queen can come through. And the reason I want to get my queen into these positions is to attack f7. Or if Pyro is crazy enough to castle, I may be able to, attack h7. So he's kicking my knight away. Now my knight can't sacrifice itself. It has to come towards the centre. So again, this is all theory. And yes, this is the best line. Pyro is playing the best line. I know I'm a pawn down, but I don't mind playing these positions. I mean, a pawn. I mean, a pawn is you don't get worried about one little pawn. B4. He obviously knows his theory. This is the main line. Now, where do I put my knight? My knight comes back here because I want to now try and attack his newly weakened square on c4. The square on c4 wasn't a weakness before because it had a very good pawn defending it. This move may look really peculiar, but the idea is to bring my knight into this square now. And if you can imagine my knights get to these two squares, they're very dangerous because he has a big hole here, and maybe my knight can come into that hole. Other ideas I can consider is queen g4, trying to attack the king side. I've played a lot of games in this type of position where my rook comes around and attacks the king side. So rook h3, rook g3, or rook here trying to attack the king side. So it's an interesting position. Now, I expect in hindsight, I'll be totally honest, that this is not entirely sound. I expect that black should be at least okay. But I've played this opening for most of my life, and I've had very good results with it. And it gives you a very interesting attacking position. Hello, pass pawn. You're joining into a long play game. So I'm just moving my mic here. It's doing funny things. So I hope you can still hear me. Hope you can still hear me. Okay, so Pyro is chatting in the box. I hope he's not listening. Are you listening, Pyro? Now, if he answers that question, we know he's listening. But I'm sure Pyro will not be listening. He's just talking about. He can't hear me, but so but okay, if he can, he can. I mean, it's not the end of the world. This is really more benefit for everyone watching this. If I lose the game, I lose the game. This is trying to benefit you guys at home, showing you some interesting openings and show you how I think drawing a game, how I think basically when I'm playing a real game. This is how I became a grandmaster, by thinking in the way I'm thinking out loud here. So if you guys want to really improve your chess, then maybe this is the way to play. So Pyro is saying that this is the main line. I mean, I know f5 is a main move in some positions, but if he plays this move now, queen h5 on the light squares is going to force his king to at least move to a funny position. This pawn here, the main way to defend that pawn, I won't actually put an arrow on it because I don't want to give it away, but the main line here is to move the bishop to defend that pawn. And then the main line goes knight here, his pawn pushes on to c3, my knight goes in here, he takes my knight off, and my bishop takes the knight. And I think that position is okay. So he's now played this move. Okay. And I'll stick with the main line, knight d2. Another very interesting move here, and if he doesn't know the theory and he finds this move, then I think it's clearly he's listening. I'm sure he won't do that. Is knight to f4. I'm not going to draw an arrow because it gives the game away. We've got to play a little bit subtle here. But knight to f4 is the other idea. But my main idea is to put that knight onto the c4 square, and I'm just going to try to attack him. I mean, I'm going to just try to bring my queen around, my rook around. If he castles over here, my bishop might be able to take this pawn, opening up his king at some idea. This bishop can be a very good attacking piece now that he's played h6. So he's played the main line, he's played c3, and now this is the move to play when he really has to take this knight off. If he doesn't take this knight off, the knight gets this square. And again, this is something I've had many times before. So he needs to eliminate the knight. And then my bishop develops, so that's quite handy. And I expect even here that the computer would say that black is better in this position. I would not be surprised. At some point, black probably should be playing f5. Trying to get a bit of space on the king side. I don't want to, again, draw diagrams over there, give it away. The main line goes something like pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, and then knight to d7, something like this. And then I can try ideas of queen g4 or rook to h3, or if I want to, I can just castle and try to maybe play on the c file as well. Chess Patzer Wiltshire, hello to you, sir. You missed a good run earlier. I got to 2600 again. Woohoo! with some okay chess. It's nice when you play all right. I think tomorrow I'm going to play the Arena Kings 3-minute tournament. It looks like I'm in pretty good form for that. Thank you for subscribing, Chess Pats. Well, for re-shouting your subscription. That's what we want. Well, that's what I want. You know, in order to do these streams, I think I worked out last month from Twitch. You know, you don't make much money doing this, but it's fun. It's a nice community. You know, I like. It's like, you know, a meet up with you guys, friends, and it's enjoyable, and it does bring in a little bit of money. And if you want to support me, you can go and buy one of my DVDs from the GingerGM shop. And I have to say, at the moment, there is actually a sale going on until tomorrow. On 2 DVDs that half price in the shop. If you're looking for an opening to play against E4, the Lazy Najdorf for the lazy player, and Tigers Modern are both under £10 at the moment, so you can go and buy one there. Johnny Blunder, thank you for your cheerio. Okay, so I don't know. So this position, I guess now, what is my opponent trying to do? Because when we're playing chess, we need to think not just of our own ideas, but of our opponents. So, okay, so my opponent's played an interesting idea. He's played his pawn here. Now, he's done that for 2 reasons. Number one, he stopped Harry going here, which will cramp him. So he might better get a blockade going with the pawn to g6. And another idea is he stopped my queen coming to this square, g4. Now, I'm not worried about him taking this pawn. That will just open up my rook and give me d6. But what plan should I be considering here? Well, one simple plan I have is to castle. I could also now play on the half open line. I could put a rook here, but that seems a bit negative. Another thing I could do is maybe I could try to bring my rook around like this, but then he maybe just plays g6 to defend everything over there. So I'd like him to commit his king, because if he commits his king, it's going to be a target. But if he castles now, I will bring my queen in and take that one. So he probably has to play g6 first. So I'm trying to work out what plans I want to play, thinking about what plans my opponent is going to do. And this is a key thing that lower rated players do not do. This is probably the most important lesson for a lot of you. If you want to improve, think about your opponent's plans. Thank you for the cheer, Black Spot. Very kind of you. So my opponent wants to go g6, but do I have what I should be doing something here, definitely. I mean, I can't just sit here and do nothing. Now, when he goes g6, that weakens this square, but can I take advantage of it? Not really. Not really. I'm quite tempted just to castle here, because if I bring my rook around here, he's going to go g6 anyway. Does that help me? I don't see how that helps me, unless I can sacrifice on this square, which looks a little bit doubtful, but I need to have a plan. So my opponent's going to go g6. What plan am I going to do to fight against this? Well, I'm thinking a move such as a5 is going to be useful, because it stops him going pawn to this square. So that's one useful move. That improves my position. I also take away the b6 square, because he might want to move his knight there. So a5 is a useful move. And let's play this first, because I'm not sure about what to do. But if I can find a useful move to play, then I'll play a useful move first. Because this move, I'm also waiting for my opponent to commit himself. Because if he castles, I can start attacking straight away. So this is a useful move. I take away a square. And I don't know if I want to castle, if I don't want to castle yet. So I'm just keeping it a bit flexible. Okay, so of course he goes here. And the one move you watch out for here is c5. This is the one move that my opponent may want to play to break. So I've got to commit now, I think. I've got to commit. I just don't think this rook coming around is doing much here. I think I should be castling. I'm going to castle here. I'm going to castle because the rook coming around, it was an interesting way to play, but with g6, I don't see a plan. Castling, it connects my rooks. It's a good move. And again, I'm not worried about him taking Harry because I get the d6 square. I don't want to put my knight in here at the moment because he captures my knight. And I think that probably helps him. My knight is a very nice piece in the center of the board. But I've got to think where my pieces are best placed. I'm also thinking maybe a move like bishop a6 is quite annoying for him, because if I can get my bishop around here, this is going to cause him a lot of trouble. And one simple plan I have is, like I say, play positionally. Where are my opponent's weaknesses? You've got to think where your opponent's weaknesses are. And c6 is a weakness. So if I can gang up against that weakness, I might be able to win it. Then I won't even be a pawn down. Well, black can play f5, but this is a very committal move. If he plays f5, I will probably take on pass on. And the position then, he opens his king up. And my king, I feel, is more secure with these 2 pawns. c5 also looks a little bit dodgy for him, because I might have some problems with this one. Or maybe, I don't know, c5 is opening up his king. The major problem he has is his king. Look, I'm a pawn down, but so what? Look at my king. My king is very safe here. And even if I don't have anything immediate to do here, some point he's got to get his king somewhere. I mean, if he castles here, it's a target. If he doesn't castle, his rooks are always kind of, you know, they're not working well together. I mean, if he goes king f8, how does that help him? I don't see how that helps him at all. I don't see why it's really better on f8. Maybe he could put it on f8. He doesn't need to castle. Maybe you're right. Maybe he goes king f8 and king g7 after g6. But that takes a lot of moves. So my general plans here, I'm going to wait and see what he does. So I'm not really going to think too much. But my general plans are something with bishop a6 maybe. Trying to attack here. Maybe put a queen on c2, attack here. If I go rook here, he may take my a pawn. So I don't want to move this rook. But maybe just queen c2, maybe rook c1, bishop a6, and then just win this pawn, because then I have my pawn back. I have the 2 bishops. I have this big attacking pawn on e5. It's okay. Now I could also play g3 just to defend that one, and maybe I could start pushing the f pawn. But I don't think this is really going to work so well, because he always goes g6. So okay, so he has gone king to f8. A recommendation of the Fuchsia. Hello, the Fuchsia. Hope you're doing okay today. So where does that king want to go? I expect it wants to go here, but that's still... I can still play moves here to improve my position. Is he going to take this pawn now? Maybe he wants to take this pawn. Maybe he wants to take this pawn, because if I move my knight in, then it's not check. So I could just play g3, as I say. Again, the move g3 seems like a very useful move to me to play, because this move doesn't scare me, and I improve my position a little bit. I just stop the possibility of him taking that pawn. Pride Air, you got there eventually. Pride Air 9999. Thank you for the support there, Pride Air. Very kind of you. And it does make a difference, little support like that. You know, helping me do more streams. I'm planning to stream tomorrow, and I'm also planning to stream the next day as well. Probably Friday. I'm just going to go down the pub and get drunk. So if I do stream on Friday, it'll be a very drunk stream. It could be fun. Oh wow, he's gone for it. Now I didn't really believe this one. Is this really believable? Because my queen always has f3, but he wants to bring his rook around. I should have maybe treated this with a bit more respect. A bit more respect. Okay, the Fuchsia is correct. I kind of... Okay, so let's have a look. Now I have to calculate. Oh, I was hoping I wouldn't have to calculate today. Okay, so I don't like defending either. So this is quite an interesting move. All credit to you, Pyro. Okay, so let's have a look. If I take here, what does my opponent play? Well, if he plays rook to this square, then maybe I can play knight here. And that blocks everything. So the only thing I'm worried about, this is where queen takes, attacking my knight and getting some chances. So if that occurs, the queen comes in there. I have two options. Queen f3, defending, bringing a queen over to defend. Or I can move my knight back to g3 and defend like this. But you know what? I don't like playing this way. I don't personally like playing in this fashion. But now that I've played g3, I probably have to play in this fashion. But this is annoying, I'll be honest. This is annoying. Okay, so let's have a look. Takes queen takes. And then if queen here, rook h6, the move I maybe forgot. Do I need to fear this? Let's say I move my rook, rook here check, king f1, because my queen is a very good, it's a very good defender of squares on f3. And if his knight comes in, so what? If his rook comes in, bishop d. I think I can now that I've gone g3, I think I should take this piece and try to call the bluff. Yes, it is dangerous, but in chess you have to play some dangerous moves. Okay, so now my idea is queen here, and then I'm going to move my rook and try to run with my king. My king trying to get to d2, and my knight, I want to keep my knight on this square. I don't really want to retreat my knight because I like my knight here. So I'm going to move my queen here, and this covers the h1 square, so he can't go queen h1. I leader, thank you for subscribing. And if he does go rook h6 and rook here, I will move my rook to some square. I don't know which is better. I expect c1's better because I may be able to come here, and I want to get my king to f1. I'm hoping on f1 it will be safe, and also if I can get, I'm hoping that will be safe. So I think this move is correct. Now I'm also thinking about bishop here, but maybe I want to put my rook on d1 then, so that my bishop can come here. But I don't know. I don't think I need to be scared, no? So, I think I'm pretty safe, actually. If I go rook here and move my king to f1, how would I attack if I was black? I can't see how he's going to attack me, to be honest. So I think I'm just gonna keep my call as much as I can. Now he could go check and rook g4. This is one thing that I was thinking he could try. And then if bishop d3, he goes knight to f4. And he's got a little bit of pressure there. A little bit, but I'm not going to poo myself quite yet. So is my rook better on e1 then to defend this one? He's making me think. He's really making me think, and that's one of the key things to do in chess. And he's got me on defensive. So I want to move this rook. Where do I move this rook to? So if I go here, I'm thinking check, king f1, rook g4. And then his rook may even want to come to this square. But rook g4, I go bishop d3. If he comes here, I go queen g3. And I think I'm running away with my king to... No, I'm not, because he's got queen here, checkmate. Wow. So what other options do I have? Well, it's just finding where to move this piece. Do I have to put it on e1? Putting it on e1 looks very strange to me. But it does stop. Okay, I think e1 is safest, because I'm worried about this and this coming where my knight is on pre. So why not put my rook on a position where I defend that? And if he does the same thing, check, king here, rook here, it gives me tempo because he's not threatening to take that one. So another idea that might be handy, having my rook here and not on c1, as I mentioned, I might want to bring my bishop around in order to cover the f4 square. So I stop something coming to f4, maybe stop the knight coming to f4, maybe stop the rook coming to f4, and maybe I can even, you know, try to plug some holes. So, okay, so the knight has come in, and this queen, I'm hoping, defends everything. So now one of the positivities, is that a word? Positivities? I guess so, is to bring the bishop here. So am I missing anything? Bishop here, check. King f1. It looks scary for me, but sometimes chess is a bloody scary game. And you have to just be brave. So bishop here, check, king here. I'm scared, but queen h2, bishop takes f4 and king e2. I have to play this one. I have to play this. If he mates me, he fully deserves it. He fully deserves it. This is a check, but my king is always running to f1. My king is always coming this way. I'm hoping it's safe here. By the way, his attack does look dangerous. It does look dangerous. Do not get me wrong. Because he has 1, 2, 3 pieces attacking my king. But, oh my God, if I fall for checkmate here, it's going to be horrible. He deserves it. I'm hoping I'm not. I do have a lot of defenders. I have a queen. Thank you, Distracted by Babbles, for subscribing. I have a queen defending. I have a knight defending. I have a bishop defending. So I also have a lot of defenders. And remember, my one idea here is to go bishop here and move the king to e2. If I can play... he needs a very good move here. I can't see it. I can't see his good move. If he doesn't have a very good move here, I'm going to have a fantastic position because I'm going to put my bishop here and my king will get to safety. So if he doesn't have a good move here and I can't see it, then I think I'm probably winning. I think the extra piece will tell in this position. Yeah, I think you're right, Defushia. This is the kind of position which you need some time to really understand. It's a very complicated position. And if he goes rook here, yeah, I'm going to take this knight. I'm always taking this knight. I thought queen here. Queen here threatens something to g1 checkmate. But if he goes queen here, I take the knight. I'm just in time. If he had one more move, then I'd be in trouble. But he doesn't. I have this one. If he goes knight here, so what? I just move my king to this square maybe. I'm not so scared. Maybe I even go bishop e3 first. His pieces, I'm not scared. I don't think he's mating me here. Look, this queen is the key defender. Without this queen, I would be in trouble. But this has been quite a scary game so far. Okay, so he's playing knight here. Now, maybe one idea he does have is if king here, he goes knight g1 check. Let's just calculate that. King here, knight g1 check, rook takes g1, rook takes g1. And then bishop to g5. And rook takes g5, rook h1. Complicated, guys. The queen moves, queen g4, knight takes g5, queen takes g5, rook takes h5. And then I play rook h8 and I take here. That's about a 10 move combo. Let's just check that one. I don't want to get that wrong, do I? King here, check. Rook takes, bishop g5. Rook takes g5, rook h1. Queen g4. Knight takes g5. Queen takes g5. Rook takes h5. Attacking his queen. And then I go rook here, check, winning the rook there. And that gives me a decisive material advantage. So I'm going to play this one. So that's a long combination. I don't think he had anything to this square because my knight is also a key defender. Now he might have rook g4, but then I have... If rook g4, I can even consider a counterattack with bishop takes e6. Rook takes here, king d3. It's still very complicated, but I think that I'm defending okay here. I feel like my defense is okay. If I get one more move, I'm winning. Rook h1, and his pieces then are looking very stupid. I am a piece up after all. How do you remember these long lines? Tango Charlie says. It's calculation. You've got to train yourself. I mean, don't play too much blitz as a key. Play long games, and you've got to calculate. I do a lot of visualization stuff. So I've been playing for I'm like an old man now. I've been playing for 32 years, and you just got to. It's like anything. You've got to train your mind to think without moving the pieces. So, for example, let me just show you that line again that I was looking at. So, knight g1 check. I have to go rook takes g1. He goes rook takes g1. I don't know if it works, but I think it does. Then I want to move my bishop, start an attack there. Okay, so this one, which is a move I did not think was worrying because I had knight takes here. but he wants to then take on d4 and try to take here. So it's an interesting move. If I go queen takes here, he takes here. So let's have a look. That's a very interesting move. But I also do have bishop g5 like I did in the last line. But then he has queen takes e4. So knight takes here, queen takes here. It's a very good move, I think, that my opponent has played. Attacking a lot of things. So knight takes here, queen takes d4. Very good move. And then he's attacking my rook and he's attacking my bishop. So I missed this very, very good move. But don't panic when you miss a move. Keep your cool. I have knight here threatening my own checkmate as a backup. I still think I'm doing well here. I need to just be careful. I need to be careful. So I'm just going to check. Knight takes f2. Queen takes d4. And do I have a good move there? I can't see a good move for me there. Queen e4. Queen takes here. He's offering me a draw, the cheeky player. Come on, Priro. Don't offer me a draw. It's too interesting to be a draw. How dare you offer me a draw? That's... Oh, God. Don't you dare offer me any more draws. Okay, knight takes here. Queen takes d4. I feel that should be good for me. I think knight d6 is the move I'm coming to the conclusion that I want to play. Because then I have queen takes f2 coming. And I'm going to go for this one. Of course, we're not taking a draw. Let's threaten. Let's create our own threats. The best way to defend in a general situation is with active play. Active defense. Active defense is the best defense. My knight here is very good, as we discussed before. And also, it does defend my bishop. My idea is he's got to defend this checkmate. When he does defend this checkmate, I'm just going to play queen takes knight. Very simply. Okay, so he's taken here, but I think he's missed that my knight is defending here. So I think I can just take that one back. But I think he was losing anyway. I just had to be careful. This doesn't help him. My knight is defending the bishop. I think he missed this move. But maybe the position was tricky. We'll put it on the computer afterwards anyway. And as you can see, Priro said that he thought he had queen takes bishop. I'm going to give Priro a massive round of applause if he does lose this one, except for the draw offer. That was just cheeky. That was cheeky. But he's played a very imaginative game, and he's really put the defensive skills onto me. Yeah, it's certainly not a dead draw, is it? But I think I'm just too many pieces up now. This is no. There's nothing to do, and I'm winning another piece. I'm just going to take the knight. But I think Priro's sacrifice was probably not sound, but I had to be careful. Okay, so let's not. Okay, so I think I can just take here. My pieces defend very well now. I'm not worried about anything here. His queen doesn't have this square. My knight. His queen doesn't have this square. My knight. It doesn't have this. If he comes, he doesn't have that. My queen defending. If he goes check, I just come back. So this is just winning, I think. I just got to make sure I don't fall for some rook here. So queen h3. I have a move. I have a move to defend. Queen h3 with the idea of rook g2. I should be able to defend. I should be able to defend there. Queen h3. Maybe I have some flash way to defend, but I probably can just go rook g1. Maybe this is his best chance. He's threatening here. So still got to be careful in these positions, of course. Do I have any flash ways to win? Of course, this position is totally winning for me, but you can still go wrong. I mean, I think rook g1 is the safest, because why not eliminate one of his only active pieces? My knight is fantastic. I think rook g1 is the best move here. Just get rid of his last piece. Well, he's got his queen, but get rid of one of his good pieces. So I think I go rook g1, but I'm just making sure there's not a better move here, and making sure there's not a better move. My king can also run away, but I think I want to eliminate pieces off the board. So let's do this one. Let's eliminate. When your material up, you want to swap pieces off. So this one, swapping pieces off, I'm sure is going to be good enough. And Priro has got it right. He's saying he's running out of pieces. This is a problem, a common problem that I have, Priro. When you just don't have enough pieces. all the pieces go away. They just disappear. They disappear. When you material up, aim to exchange pieces. This is just a rule. Okay, so he's putting a rook here, but now I could take this one, but let's try to get my bishop developed. My bishop is needing to be developed, and then my rook is here. I think bishop f4 is good because it cuts him off. But maybe his queen wants to come to this square. Let's not let the queen to that square. So maybe a better square for my bishop is e3. Bishop e3. Because then his queen can't come across, and I just coordinate my pieces a little bit better. So I'm going to put the bishop here. He's got quite a lot of pawns. By the way, materialistically, he's got 5 pawns. So, of course, it should be winning. Now, I could have maybe taken that one, but why get greedy? When you're material up, you don't need to get greedy. Just try to develop. This move develops, and it also allows this rook to help out in some positions. And maybe my threat now is rook h1. So does rook h1 force the exchange of queens? If it does, I'm clearly winning. More winning than I am now. So rook h1, he might have to go queen g2. And if the queens come off, that's the end of his trick. So I think this move, rook h1, kills the game because my bishop blocks his queen from coming across. So I'm trying to stop my opponent's moves and also improve my position. But Pyro played very well. He played a very good game. Maybe I could have also gone knight takes f5 there. Could I have gone for a tactical finish? Pawn takes bishop f5 check. Well, I could have done. But I don't need to be flash in this position. Simple is good if we're just trying to play it. And Pyro, you are running out of pieces, mate. Your pieces are gone. And now, well, this is very easy. Let's take here, move the king and take this one, shall we? I'm happy to get rid of the queen. And I'm going to take this next. I've got 3 extra pieces and I'm going to start to take his pawns off the board. This one will go. They're dropping like flies. They're dropping like flies. And he has to move his rook. He's not threatening here because my amazing knight. So there goes 1 pawn. And now I can win more material with this move. Bishop here. So let's win as many as we can. Just trying to take off all his bits. Look at this knight. This is the winning piece, the knight. Fantastic piece. Fantastic piece, that knight. Defends. It defends. It attacks. It does everything. Thanks to the game, Pyro. I think the position is getting pretty much resignable. We'll whack it on the computer afterwards. We'll have a little look if the sacrifice was any good. Thank you for the game, Pyro. I do admire your spirit there. So thank you for the game. You gave it a really good shot.